I've used a Pocket notebook every single day for over 1800 days and it's completely changed my business forever. It took me from constantly putting out fires, drowning in chaos and feeling like I have no control over my business to scaling to multiple six figures in just 4 to 5 hours a day. And when I gave it to my clients at selfmastery.co, the exact same thing happened to them. More time, more control, more income. So in this video, I'm going to break down in the most simple way possible how you can use a Pocket notebook to completely change your business forever. And the best part, you only need one page. Let's dive in. So let me ask you something. When things are going well in your life, in your business, do you actually know why? Most entrepreneurs don't. And that's exactly why everything falls apart. Like imagine you're flying a plane. You take off, you're cruising, everything feels smooth, but then mid-flight you start pulling random levers, turning off systems you didn't even know were running, and now the plane's shaking, dropping altitude, alarms are blaring, and you have no idea what caused it. In reality, you just unknowingly stopped doing what was keeping things smooth in the first place. So how do we avoid this? Well, you need a way to capture and preserve what's actually working when things are going well, before you forget. Not later, not when chaos returns. Now, while you're in control, momentum is high and clarity is strong. Which brings us to the most valuable single page you'll ever write. And when I first started using this, I had no idea that it'd become the most important page in my entire business. You see, most entrepreneurs are great at problem solving, but they suck at pattern recognition. They don't realize that success leaves clues, even your success, and you're already doing things that work. You've just never written them down. A past client of mine at selfmastery.co, which, by the way, if you want my help installing the exact systems in your business and personal operations that you need to scale in under 4 hours a day, click the first link in the description below. But a past client of mine was running a multi-six-figure agency, had a team of like 12 people and felt like things were finally flowing. Productivity was high, deals were closing, and for once, he wasn't drowning in chaos. Then he went on vacation for a week, came back, and everything was a mess. He couldn't focus, his team felt off, stress levels spiked. He thought something broke in the business, but nothing broke. He just stopped doing what worked. He forgot the morning routine that made him actually feel good. And morning routine should not be 8 hours. This is besides the point of the video, but a morning routine that makes you feel good, that makes you feel productive, that makes you actually enjoy your day is a great thing, because if you enjoy what you do, if you feel good, you're going to work better, you're going to work more productive, you're going to get better results, etc. He stopped planning his days. He changed his sleep schedule. All of these are pretty subtle changes, right? They're nothing massive, but together, they completely changed his day. That's when I got him to write a single page that would change fucking everything. I call it the What Works document. And how it works is you take one page in a notebook, ideally a notebook that you can keep with you, which is why I use a Pocket one, and you write this at the top. What works? Then you list everything that consistently improves your life, your business, your energy, and your clarity. So this could be tactics. It could be business strategies. It could be anything in the business that works, be it around content, offers, ads, whatever. But also note down morning routines that make you feel unstoppable. Foods that boost your focus and ones that destroy it. Like if you eat a super high carb meal for breakfast, then 2 hours later you're falling asleep at your desk, yeah, well, write down to avoid those foods. Ways of planning that give you clarity, sleep habits and schedules, mindsets or perspectives that make life and business more enjoyable, deep work setups that let you execute. Anything that works, and I mean anything, goes on this page. Now, obviously, this relies on you knowing what works and actually having things going well in the first place, so if everything's a bit chaotic and you haven't figured out what works, don't panic, I'll touch on this in a few minutes. But this is your personal operating manual. So when chaos hits, you can flip back and go, oh, I stopped doing that, no wonder things are chaotic. And you can instantly get back on track. Because here's the thing, you don't lose control when things are going bad, okay? You don't. You lose control when things are going good, and that's why they end up going bad. That's when you stop doing the things that created the success in the first place. This used to happen to me more times than I can count, okay? Like I'd go through phases where I was completely locked in, I was executing perfectly, business was growing, stress was low. Like I felt like I was on top of the world, I was fucking locked in, right? Then one day I would just wake up and feel like I'd lost all momentum. I'd start scrambling, checking 5 tools to get one answer, reacting instead of planning, skipping morning deep work blocks, and for ages, I couldn't figure out why this kept happening until I realized I simply stopped doing the things that worked. There was no disaster, there was no catastrophe. Sure, there might have been, things that triggered me to stop doing what worked, but it was never a disaster. It was just a slow erosion of structure that then turned into a disaster. So here's what you do next. Don't wait until things fall apart. Start your what works document today. When you finish this video, and I mean literally when you finish this video, take 5 minutes and write down everything that is working for you right now. Mentally, physically, emotionally, in the business, even small things, because small things do compound, okay? And the next time things start feeling off, open the notebook and go through everything in the list to see what you've stopped doing. Because I can fucking guarantee that is all that's happened. Because, right, at selfmastery.co, links in the description by the way, I work with business owners running 6, 7 and 8 figure businesses. These are people that by every measure of success are doing well. They have good businesses, they have good families, and when they finish working with me, they have complete control of their time, pure autonomy, and high freedom. From the outside, right, you'd never think that they fall off track. But they're human, just like you and me, they fall off track. And every single time, and I mean every single time, it's just because they've stopped doing something simple that works for them. So when things start feeling off, go through your what works doc to see what you've stopped doing. And you'll be shocked how obvious the answer is once you have a place to look. But I'll tell you this, right? There's always one thing I see disappear first that creates the most chaos. And, it's not around your offer. It's not around even your business systems. It's not responding to emails. It's not your content. It's not your weekly team meeting. It's planning your damn day. See, whenever a client tells me they feel overwhelmed, stuck, or behind, or a bit chaotic, the first thing I check is their planning routine. And 9 times out of 10, maybe even more, they haven't done any real planning for days. No wonder they're behind. No wonder they're feeling chaotic because they're running blind. Because see, when you're running a 6, 7 or 8 figure business, planning is the anchor of your execution. You have so many things you need to do, or so many things you think you need to do, so many things you could do, and only a handful of them actually matter. Planning is how you ensure you get what matters done. It's what turns ideas into action and chaos into control. But the second things get busy and you have more things on your plate or something uncontrollable pops up, it's the first thing people drop. And I think it's because planning forces you to confront how you spend your time, okay? But stopping planning just makes things even more chaotic, because when you stop planning your day, you stop doing all the other things that work as well. So here's what I recommend. See in your what works document, make planning a non-negotiable. Now, if you want to know how I recommend you plan your day, just let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video breaking it down. But now this part might sound weird, but it is important. Most people try to keep this list in, like an Apple Notes document, Notion, or buried in page 43 of their journal, and then they wonder why they never look at it again. Think of your what works document like a fire extinguisher, okay? When the building's on fire, you don't want to search 10 apps to find where you left it. You want it in one place, fast, simple, and always accessible. That's why I recommend using a dedicated notebook for this. So keep it on you or keep it somewhere visible on your desk. This way, when the storm hits, when things start falling apart, you won't panic. You simply flip open the notebook, see what you're not doing, and then start doing it again. Because look, success is not about constantly finding new things. It's about doing more of what already works and doing it consistently. This is true in business, productivity, life in general. The what works document is the simplest way I've found to measure this. And it's one of the few habits that'll serve you whether you're just starting out in business or scaling to 8 figures. Now, obviously this what works document relies on you knowing what works in the first place, which if you want to see one of the best ways to make business easy, click this video on screen now.